Hi everyone, it's going to rain here in Sussex, but before it does I'm going to try and replace the handbrake pads on my BMW X3. It's a tricky job because they're inside the hub. As you can see, this is a new hub. I replaced it a few weeks ago. There is a video about me doing that, but and checking to see if they're the right thickness, so do have a look out for those. But when I came to take this off, I realised that I couldn't remove it because the pads inside were hitting against the inside of the hub, and I'll show you where that was and how to get around it. But first thing to know is that there is a way of adjusting the handbrake, and I'll show you that when I dismantle it. But also, before we do that, I'll show you where it is and how you can access it from here. So let me just see if I can turn the... I can't turn the camera around, but anyway, if you were to look through this hole here, when the car is in this position, you can probably not see at all the mechanism inside because it's so incredibly difficult to see. Even with a torch that doesn't work very well, you won't be able to see it, not with this camera. But no, it's way too dark in there. People talk about how you can adjust the handbrakes using that hole, and you can, it's possible, but to be able to know and understand how you do that, you really need to be able to see it, and you need to see it dismantled. So I'm going to show you where it is and how you would adjust it, but we'll see it because the disc will be off. So let's mount up and take the disc off. Go through that process again quickly. Here, so I need to take off the caliper. I'm going to undo the lugs at the back. Let's so you can see what I'm doing. You need a 7mm hex or Allen key. There are some little plastic bungs that cover up the slide bolts. So I'll pop those out. There we go. The 7mm goes in there. It's pretty tight, as you'd expect. I think these are 38mm from memory. Check it, look up the torque before you do anything. Don't guess. There's a couple of torques that you need on this one. These obviously are undoing the caliper. There's also the ones that hold the caliper support mounting on behind here. Probably just make it up there. Those are on a 16mm socket. Let's just pull this forward and try and just get a little bit of gap on these brake pads. They are new, but need them to free off a bit if we can. It's a little bit of pressure there, and I've just eased the pads open a little. There's a spring clip here that needs to come off. I'm going to just push that. That needs to come in to come out. Cool, it's tight. There we go. Need to come out. I'd like to come out. Really would like to come out. There it is. Little spring clip. Keep that. Very important. You can see here there's the new pad that I put on. There's a bit of the copper grease on the back of it. Stop it squealing. Brake grease is important, but don't get it on the rotor or the disc or the pad surfaces. Obviously that would make your brakes fail. Be very careful when you put grease on brakes. Now I'm going to undo these behind here. Oh, sorry. Pretty bendy. Oh my, you're falling over. It's a bit of a jaunty angle. Ignore the fact that my ancient coat says BBC Workplace on it. I did used to work there. And keep reusing this knackered old coat that was too scruffy to use at BBC. I didn't want to throw it away, because actually it's quite good in the rain, and it was about to rain here. There we go, just undo these. If you can get a little socket set in here with a hex bit on it, then great. You probably need to do that with your torque wrench later to do it back up. But there is this strut in the way, the shock absorber strut, which my uncle says shouldn't be called a shock absorber, it's a damper, because the springs are shock absorbers, but there you can argue that one with him. Undo this one, undo this one. Okay. Stiff one there, so it is possible to get, you can get things on there, but it's a bit tight. Probably a 3/8 inch set would be easier on this, or a 1/4 inch set's probably not really manageable. 1/4 inch torque wrench doesn't go up to the torque that you'd need for this, not my one anyway. That's those. They just slide out. And this should then come away. It says, hoping. Now this does come away easily on here because I've just replaced these pads. You can see that pad's got a huge amount on it. And so it's yeah, it's not going to be an issue here, but it will be if you're working on an old disc and old pads. You will struggle because you need to really pull that caliper apart. Really want to hang this caliper by its pipe. I mean, they're quite sturdy pipes, but they're brake pipes, but it's not good practice. The brake pipe shouldn't be put under strain. I'm trying to sort of hold it up there out of the way. If you get a cable tie, you can tie it up out of the way. It's not a bad idea. See if I can work around it. I'm trying to do this fast. But shortcuts never pay off, you know that. I'm undoing this. Let's just take this pad out while I'm at it. These are barely bedded in. You can see on the disc that the paint's kind of come off some of it, but not all of it yet. They're on their way. Okay. So this is the caliper mount. That's the bolt for it. There's another one at the top here. I'll try and get to moving this caliper around. There we go. Can't remember what those are done up to, I'm going to have to look it up. I have a feeling they might be around 60 newton meters, but I'm not going to guess. I will look them up. There are websites that tell me. It's a shame Haynes haven't come out with an owner's manual for the E83 yet, as far as I know. There we go, there's the caliper mount. See if I can pop this behind me here safely out of the way. I'll show you in front. Stay there. Right, back to the front. We've now got no caliper on here. This is 6, I think. 6, there we go. Not done up tight, doesn't need to because the wheel's always clamping it. And you don't want that to get stuck. It's just a silly little bolt that aligns it while you're putting the hub on. It also transfers the brake through. So this was the point where I got stuck last time, because I couldn't actually pull the hub off, and that was because the handbrake inside was binding on the inside of the drum. And this is the point where you would have to put in a screwdriver through this hole here to try and flick the adjuster to release off the handbrake. I'm hoping I'm not going to have to do that. Obviously the handbrake is off, the wheels on the front of the car are chocked, so the car's not going anywhere. And if I take this off, now you can see the handbrake pad around the outside, the adjuster over here, handbrake pad underneath, and inside here you can see where my old horrible handbrake pads have been touching the inside of this nice shiny new drum. They're actually depositing crud all over it because they're really knackered, these pads. I bought some new pads. If they're the wrong ones, then this video is going to be stopping at this point. I'm hoping they're right. They say all the right things on them. I can open the box, get into it. Fabi Bilstein has managed to create a box you can't get into. Pretty get going. Alright, chaps. Well, what we have here is a load of handbrake pads. Now, I was kind of hoping that when I opened this box I would find some little mounting thingies, because there are little mounting thingies. There's a mounting thingy here which you have to push in and turn through 90 degrees to release it. It's just a spring clip. There's another one under here that release these pads. I'm going to obviously have to undo those. These are in reasonable condition, but they are ancient like the car. This here is the adjuster, and this is probably the most important part of this video. When you're poking your screwdriver through, trying to see this through the hole, I can go through the hole over here. This is how you would do it, through the hole. You would flick this like so to adjust it. And what that does is it changes the length of it. I'm actually going smaller. I think you can see the bottom of it. Now we're going bigger. So with the new pads, I'm going to have to put this all the way in to minimum. And then once I've got the disc back on, I'm going to have to adjust it out until it makes contact, and then I'm going to have to back it off a couple of notches. The spring being on the wheel stops it from turning, and there we go, that's stopped. So that's on its minimum setting now. So I'm going to take these off. I cleaned them up before, so I'm not too worried. I mean, there is a bit of dust in there, you can see it, but it's just what it is really. It's pretty clean. I did put a little bit of grease on relevant things last time before I reassembled it, realising that these pads were utterly shot and needed replacing. It's a shame to have to do things twice, but sometimes you find that there are things that you need to do. That's life, I suppose. See if I can get you to stand up over here. There we go. And right, let's take this off. So we need another Allen key for that. A world of hex bits, this. Looks like it's going to be a 5. There it is, simple as that. I actually put a bit of grease on the bottom of the spring to stop it from rusting and getting a bit crud. But again, very careful. You don't want to put any grease on the pads, otherwise the handbrake won't work. That's the 2 clips, and it's obviously on this mechanism down here, and obviously on these 2 up here. There's springs on it, which I need to try and ease off. Having never done this before, it's going to be a challenge. Oh, it comes off if you do that. That's exciting. I'm just pulling the cable through. Okay, so I just managed to unhook that end. This is now loose. off here, the whole thing has just come off with my hand, with the adjuster still on it. There it is. So that adjuster needs to go back on the new set, springs need to go back where they are, and yeah, see if we can get it back together in the same way. So that's the old one. I'm going to kind of place this out as it is and try and repeat it. That spring looks to be pretty even. It's symmetrical. Right, what have we got? So, these are coated in a varnish. They'll probably stop them rusting. It's not a an oil or anything. And if I rub this, there's nothing on it at all. So I'm pretty certain they're clean. Could have a look at the instructions. They come with instructions, which is great. Try and work through millions of languages. Let's see if I can see. It tells you what I'm doing. Support the vehicle securely. Remove the brake drum. If it's combined, remove the caliper. We've done all that. Retaining tension springs, pliers. Didn't use plier. I used a screwdriver. Remove the brake shoes. Disconnect handbrake cables if applicable. If it's equipped with ABS, carefully dismantle regarding ABS sensors. Well, that's on a reluctor ring round the back. The ABS. If you want to know how to replace a sensor and a reluctor ring, then well, good luck to you. It's on a different video. Vacuum dust and other dirt. Oh, very exciting. And well, I cleaned it out last time, as I said. Ensure the backing plate are free from contamination, which they are. With the rust on mine, all right. Return any automatic brake shoe adjusters initial position. Refit brake drum disc assembly. It doesn't really talk about doing anything unexpected. Ensure that the brake drum and backing plate are free from contamination or oil or grease, which I've already said 3 times. Worth saying again though. Well done. Right. So I'm going to make these look like this, and let's see if they're are they handed? Are they the same? Oh, we've got different ones. Don't know. Are there 2 rights? Are there 2 lefts? I think there are. Because if I look at this one has a nodule at the top, and this one's got a nodule at the top, but it's got a notch next to it. If I flip that around, does it look like that? It does look like that. These look as though they are exactly the same as each other, so are they the same as these? Well, actually, they are. These look like they're all exactly the same. You know, I was kind of expecting a pair, but again, doesn't look like a pair. So if we're matching, we've got the flat bits at the bottom, on the adjuster. The spring obviously goes across the top, which I put on last. That was the bit that held it at the bottom. I need to take the spring and adjuster off this, which I can do just by folding these over. There's the adjuster. The adjuster goes in like that, exactly the same. There's the spring. It's the shorter spring than the top spring, the other side spring. Cross these over, put the spring in, and try and line everything up while I pull it out. So there we go, that's now exactly the same as this one was, and this spring I need to put on last. So I'm going to try and get this round here and then engage it with this. Well, this contraption is obviously the handbrake pull, which is very exciting. It's got a bit of a spring in there, which doesn't really do a lot. There's a hook which the cable goes over. I can see the cable poking out. Cable. take a slightly different approach now. I'm going to put these clips on. They're going to hold the whole bloody thing in place while I mess around with that spring. That way I know it's where it needs to be. Some people like to edit their videos so that you don't see all the pain and suffering. I've done that in the past when there's so much pain and suffering. You would be in pain and traumatise yourself. Not sure I will with this one. It's so much fun. I want you to suffer with me. That was a bugger, lifting that up onto there. There's an absolute bind, but it's now on there and they're tight, and that I think is where it all should be. And now, if I get this, let's make sure that that hole in the hub is still which it is. So I can still get onto that. I'm going to put this hub back on, and then we'll try and get everything back together again. I'll do that adjustment so that you can see how it's done before I go any further with the calipers, and then we might leave it there, but we can put everything else back together, of course. Just put this back on there. Let's get this stuff out of the rain. I knew it was going to start raining. Now, I was going outwards before, and I'm just gonna, I can feel where that is now, because I know what it looks like, obviously. I don't remember which way to go, of course. Still turning. Shit, in theory, we go until we stop. Yeah, now I can't turn this anymore, so the brake supplied. So I'm going to back this off. Just a couple. Let's put it on one. Where is it? Another. Which way was I going? Anyway, problems of being a dyslexic. Never remember which way you can go. Oh dear. That's what. Back one. Binding a bit. Back two is clear. So I'm going to leave it there. I can always reach in again through the wheel hub and do this further if I want to later. But for me now that's fine. Let's get this brake caliper back on. You can watch me if you really want. It's not very exciting. Let's see. Just doing up these. Oh. Low battery warning on the phone. This has taken some time. Torque wrench. Check these. Make sure you use the right numbers. I'm not going to go on about what I've used here now because I'd rather check it and put it in the chat. There you go. There we got the pad already in here. There's another pad I'm going to drop back in here. Make sure there's no grease on these. As I said before, I'm going to keep saying that, it's really important. No grease on your pads. Slide that back together. That was easy. And then we'll tighten these back up. If you've got a mini wrench, something to get on these, then use it. Yeah, I mean that's kind of basically it really. over about 40. And the torque wrench, which is why I was saying it's over the top for the small torque wrench. Do check. You can't actually get this on the top one, it won't fit in. It's really annoying. It's a 1/2 inch set, so yeah, a bit annoying that. Let's wind this down to do that bottom one. At least I'll get a feel for it. So, there we have it. The other thing I haven't done on here is put the sensor on it. There's a sensor that fits onto the so we can brighten you up. Sensor fits onto the pad in here. The sensor broke, and we've had a light on the dashboard since. And I bought some new ones, so I'm going to replace that. It's just a cable that connects. There's a little hatch underneath the wheel arch here, and you can open it up, and it just connects in. It's a really easy thing to do. Which I don't know which one it is. It's two. Let's see, it's probably different lengths because the old one fell to bits, so I haven't actually got it anymore. Let's see if this will go on here. I suppose I'll actually get these on without. Yeah, it clips in there. When there's a little lump on it, when that wears out, it'll make contact with the disc and it'll bring the light on the dashboard. And the light is on the dashboard all the time at the moment because obviously I haven't got it since this was then. There it goes. There's some clips that it goes into. There's one there, there's one over here, yeah, there's one up here that's actually broken off. It's supposed to be on the top here, but I put it over there. So this goes round and then it goes into underneath there. And we'll tie it on and put it in. That kind of looks like it's about the right length. We'll use it. They're funny little clips, which I don't like very much. Yeah, sort of left it unpicked. I just put the back end of this through the grease cleanser as well. So there we go, it's clear, clipped on. God, these clips are really pants. Really pants clips. And this one obviously broke off, so I've had to attach it. So, oh, there we go. I managed to get that in there. Just tighten that up a bit. It doesn't go anywhere. Hopefully not going to suffer any harm. No battery. Yeah, we're running out of juice. But there is a patch under here. Oh, that's a couple of 10 mils. Let's see if I can open that up. It's really easy. Once you open it up, you just connect. You can pull these out of the little clip holders, and they just pull apart. There's a little clip on them which you can undo, and you just slide apart and clip the new one in, and it should be working. This is a seal on the end of the box. The whole thing is in. So yeah, do that. I hope this is all helpful, and if it is, stick a comment in the chat. Sorry it took so long to get the spring on. It was a bit of a pain. Use some thinner pliers or mole grips if you've got them, because that'll make it easier. And really have to pull that spring pretty hard to get it on there. But yeah, there we go. That's how to adjust and replace handbrake pads on sort of in the disc handbrake arrangements on a BMW. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe if you like it. I'm going to get this done and get out of the rain.